Right, how you doing? It's a bit doom and gloom today. Forgive me. It's for really, really stupid reasons, really stupid stuff. But, can I throw some plus notes out there first? One, my Viltrox 85 for Fuji arrived today, which I ordered a while back. We managed to get it at a light discount. By a light discount, we got like a third off of it. Brand new. So that's going to be rad. I want to use this for portraits. Crystal Mountain. So yesterday I was on 45% on bass on Rocksmith. I love Crystal Mountain. It's one of my favourite songs of all time. The Walled managed to nail some bits down, right? And he got up to, so we both hit the 45% wall. He got up to 55. He was then 10% better than I am at Crystal Mountain. This morning, 66%. Little bit aggro at the moment. Twice the camera's cut out on me while I've been trying to vlog. Why? Not recorded, recharged batteries. I just had a 5-minute gush fest over playing Crystal Mountain on Rocksmith. And I didn't record a fucking thing of it, did it? Not a fucking thing. So can I just... I'm going to rewind. My enthusiasm might not quite be there, and what I said might not quite be there, but goddamn, 60% Yeah! Nailed it. So, here's the trick. The game is giving me more notes in different sections than it is DeWalt. Now, there are two sections that DeWalt has got completely nailed down at the moment that I'm having a bit of trouble with. I know where the notes are. I know when they're supposed to come in, but I can't seem to hit them, right? One of them I had nailed down no problem, like recently, and then I've just let it go. It's just gone. I think I know why I'm having trouble, but I'll get to that. Because the game has been adding in extra notes in different places, example, the intro, once you nail the intro down, there's a little noodly bit at the start. It'll start adding in orange notes, and for DeWalt, he's only got one orange note. Right? For me, it's giving me 3 orange notes and 2 blues. Later on in the song, there's kind of a rhythmy section, which I'm pretty solid with. It's it goes and so on. Right? It gives me that, all of it, and I think that's kind of where it's pushed me above DeWalt's, kind of where DeWalt got the lead on those other two parts. With that, just that one section, because of the sheer amount of notes in it's a very simple rhythm section. It's just up there. I'm surprised it hasn't given DeWalt the full thing. So it's like, I think it went from about 80% up to 100% difficulty. Here's the thing with me as well. I can't play things. The game's got this thing called Riff Repeater. I cannot use Riff Repeater. Riff Repeater is handy if, say for example, notes blast past you and you can't see what it is that's coming at you, right? So you can like slow it down and all that kind of stuff. But for me, as soon as you start slowing it down, my head just doesn't click with what we're playing. Especially if I know the song and if I've got the beats going in my head, right? I just can't play it at reduced speed. I can't. As soon as I know where the note is, give it to me full speed, or I'll just start missing things left and right. I can't, and playing it at a simpler level as well is also pretty difficult for me, because if I hear a note that I don't see on the screen, I tend to play the note that I hear, or the note that I see in place of what I hear, and it really screws with me, which is where my problem comes in, alright? I think if I were to nail down the bits that DeWalt has got nailed down right now, I would probably push Crystal Mountain from 66 to about 70, maybe 75. 75% in Crystal Mountain is a fucking, like, yes for me, and once I get to, like, higher than that, I might have to bust out the 6 string, which will take me absolutely forever. So the problem. I've only really recently picked up bass. I've never given bass any respect ever in my life, ever, really, other than like Dan Lilker from Stormtroopers of Death. I have a very Billy Milano mentality to bass. Billy and Danny used to play in the same band, you know, and Billy would always say, "Shut the fuck up, Lilker, you're just a bass player." Even though Billy was a bass player himself, right? Understand that no one respects the bass player. I've never given it any respect. I've never really listened for bass in songs, unless it's literally clearly the only thing being played in a section. Like maybe the guitar is ringing out, and then you hear some noodling on bass. That's the only time I'll really click to it. So we're playing through Crystal Mountain, and let's say, for example, there are 5 notes on bass and 10 notes on the guitar. So maybe the bass isn't giving me the full bass yet, so it's not giving me 10 full notes, or maybe the bass has to ring out, so it plays, rings out, plays the next note, rings out, plays the next note, ring out, you know, kind of thing, so it doesn't have to play every note that the guitar does. Or, I don't know. But in my head, because I'm still so tuned to the 6 string, when I hear the guitar note, I'm going for the next note on bass. So if it goes da 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 da, all of a sudden my head's going da 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 da. I'm doubling it up because I'm doing the guitar bit. I'm listening to the 6 string bit and going for the notes. I'm playing them too fast. I'm playing them too early, and so I'm missing them. Or I'm just completely all over the place and just, you know, it's insane. But if I could just get my head around this whole timing thing and listening more for the bass than the guitar, I reckon I could probably hit, you know, 70% Crystal Mountain. I'd hope. The aim was to hit the next big number from the Wald, you know. I hit 45, so the next goal was 50. The Wald hit 55, so the next goal was 60. Managed to hit 60. I was going to go, today, 60% or bust. We hit 66. I mean, how rad would it, for me, because Crystal Mountain is one of my favourite songs, 70% Crystal Mountain that's nuts. 75% Crystal Mountain, even better. If I can't do the noodly bass bits, whatever. But, yes, 66. I really hope the batteries help for this bit, because I don't want to record anything again. Which kind of, I guess, tails in with the dying batteries and stuff. The bad vibes for the day, and I've just come downstairs and I'm really getting kicked in the same area that I was before, or the just bad groove. Just bear with me. Please have charge. Funny for a minute. Extra negativity. I thought I'd fix that stupid USB ejecting issue on the little laptop. Nope. We've done 2 streams today. Me and Nikki did a Destiny stream earlier, and then Chalky messaged us to say, "Hey, do you want to do another one? Or do you want to do a Destiny stream later?" And I said, "Oh yeah, cool." We hop in, we play for an hour and a half, get to the end of the quest, bam! Everything on USB 3's gone. Pissed me right off. Right, so negativity, and right now Inky wants to shake me because I've just had a word with her about it. I'll try and, you know, long story short, this one. I've gone back into this weird funky mind space again, into this weird head space where just nothing's right, everything's going to go wrong, or everything has gone wrong and it's too far to repair. It's been one of those things where I'm feeling like it's too late. Everything is too late. What do you mean, Skaz? Well, we were talking about running businesses today. Not many, just I was in general conversation. We were talking about how it's now so hard to run a business locally with a storefront. You know, how you can run a website now for less than a month's rent. For a whole year, you can run a website for less than it costs you to run a storefront. How Big Corp is going to just take out any small store like that because they can afford to buy in bulk, they can absorb any bad months. Because a lot of stores have closed recently. In fact, one of them has closed recently and been ransacked. Or it's been closed, and as they were closing down, like they're on their last week or whatever, just people bust into the store and stole a load of stuff. It wrecked the store for them. Talking about that, I was like, had we have done this 10 years ago, we would have been more likely to succeed. About investing in small properties and holiday homes. Had we have done this 10 years ago, prices would have been lower. After doing some maths recently on if we were to buy holiday homes, caravans, things like that, by the time assuming that the thing that you buy actually has people in it every week of the available year for like the seasonal stuff. So for every week of the season, whichever you're doing, even if it has, like, let's say, the maximum amount for however many weeks per whatever, over 5 years, is it going to just pay for itself, or are you going to get any profit out of it? And the maths that I've pulled recently is probably wrong, to be fair, but no. The answer is, like, you buy this thing and it would literally pay for itself, and by the time it's paid for itself, it would be so old. It would be about 5 years old, 5, 6 years old. You wouldn't have made any profit on it, and you'll have to buy a new one. Or you'll have to buy another one, starting the cycle again. So, that became a thing. Houses had, before me and Inky got together, I was on good money for a wee time. When Inky and I were together, I was on good and better money. No. When I first got with Inky, I was on good money. I've had, the occasional job with a decent wage beforehand, but, when I first got with Inky, I was on a decent amount of money. Had I actually put away that money to start with, we could have bought a house. Looking at the markets around here over the last 5 years, literally crushed my soul. I was talking to folks and neighbours about buying housing around here, and the amount of money that, like, this house, we rent this house, the value of this house has gone up since we've been here is ridiculous. Yet nothing has realistically changed with the exception of the garage. Like, the roof of the garage has been changed. The boiler got changed. But do those two things equate to like a 50 grand increase in the value of a house? Are we looking to get into the market too late? And then I get the whole, I feel like I'm wasting people's time again. If only would have kind of done this stuff earlier, if only would have exited this out earlier, if only would have done. I'm in a really random headspace again. And I just had a chat with Inky about it. And I mean, in the grand scheme, Inky's thing is, or it's just become over the last few years or whatever, well, for a fair while, mistakes happen, things happen, forgive, let go, move on. That's the only way we're going to progress. You can't hold on to it and stay where you are, kind of thing. And I'm generally fine with that if I thought other people would let that happen for me. But I don't see that as a thing. And it hasn't been in the past. The whole one rule for one rule for and another for another person. And plus, I have this thing where, forgive and move on is fine, but they're just. So I've said that end of February, beginning of March, I'm going to give everything just a clean slate. Okay, there's stuff going on, and I just want everything to have a clean slate. This is important enough to me that the universe deserves a clean slate. But I'm fine when people aggro me, but I can't forgive as easily when people aggro other people I know. So the whole forgive and move on thing just doesn't sit with me. Even if I will give the world a morally clean slate up until they wind me up again. But then there were just some things I just don't know if I can wipe clean, because I damn sure know that some people won't let things be clean for me, or it's too late. So just everything seems like such a downer, man. Like it just seems like you're just working yourself into the grave, just doing all this stuff. You're either just surviving or holding everything back. And so that's where my kind of negativities come from today, like the really downer feeling, like looking at house prices and stuff like that. Because I realistically don't think a house is worth more than 70 grand. And like a house like this is worth no more than £70,000. But the houses around here are now going for anywhere between 150 and 200,000. These things are ridiculously small. You know, it wasn't that long ago that houses around here were going for considerably less. And so that kind of irks me, looking at renting a shop, a commercial premises. Rent used to be really reasonably low. Now we have an entire town that is empty because no one can afford to pay the rent to the landlords to run these businesses. You know, majority of people who are trying to run these businesses, their profits are just going on paying the rent. I mean, there are big companies that are struggling to pay rent on the high street. That's ridiculous. It's terrifying to me. And then there's the whole, people thing, and I don't know. I'm low, but I'm horribly excited to the point that I feel really sick for what's coming in the future. It's weird. Really weird. Anyway. Yeah, I didn't really explain that all that well. Just don't want to be a burden. Even if we were to put everything on the table now, wouldn't be good enough for a long old time. For a long old time. Had we done it a few years ago, probably not so bad. Don't want to hold people back. Yeah, I'm gonna head off. That didn't. I'll do an additional for myself later if I can actually organise my thoughts. Like I said, just everything feels really negative. There doesn't seem to be that ray of hope at the end of it. But I'm gonna try and because I always tell people, just let it go and move on, power through. I keep saying that to people, but as I say, there are just a few exceptions to the rule, and Inky's saying to do it, and I don't know, it doesn't always work for me. Even if it had nothing to do with me, and this is the thing, like, I've been getting really aggro today about stuff that had nothing to fucking do with me, some stuff completely beyond my control, right? And it still aggroed me. Blessed today, oddly enough, actually, as I was gonna vlog, but the batteries were all dead. I come downstairs and Inky's talking to a lad that we haven't spoken to in 10 years, 11 years, something like that. Was William born? Or he was just a babby at the time? Pregnant. So I was, long time ago, before vlogs. I think we'd spoken of them, him and his partner, who, not his partner anymore, but we'd spoken of him back when we were living in Plague House. So back when the vlogs had started, so really early on in the vlogs. And just that put me in a downer too, because in reassuring him today reminded me of something I didn't really want to think about. Move on. Scares. Clean slate. I want from March 1st. I'm going to try. I'm probably not going to do very well at it, but I'm going to fucking try. Because there's no point there's no point holding on to this stuff. It's a fresh start. I'm fucking so excited it's not even funny. Which is, that's the thing. I'm on such a high that it's, you know, the even a normal low is like right down on the floor now because I'm all the way up. So fucking I am higher than any fucking mountain. You know, I'm past the fucking stars, mate. At this point. That's how excited I am. And that's why I'm so worried about just... Yeah, I'll do an additional tomorrow. For myself. So I do well. I'll see you all with a bit of luck tomorrow. How do you all feel to the world we live in right now? Honestly, legit thoughts. Because it's hard to look on the bright side sometimes.